Hello, hello. We have started BOLD here at the brokerage. Some of us were in the rooms, and I wanted to kind of just every week, we're going to take just a quick summary of some of the different things that we did, because even if you can't be in the room, the activities that we do are still going to be productive and helpful. We actually did something today, and I might start doing it too. We did some lead gen in the room. And it was interesting because at every single table, there was like one person that maybe started right away, and then everybody else was like, oh shoot, okay, well, okay. And so there's a lot to be said for positive peer pressure. And that is something that BOLD does. It's about accountability. It's about truly, it's called BOLD for a reason. You know, they want you, so the commitment, what's our homework? 100 contacts this week. Now, everybody's heard my line. I built my business that way. I know what it's like to do 100 contacts a week. I actually texted all of the emerging agents, and I also put out a challenge to the group. I would love everyone to really kind of increase their numbers. What would it look like for us as, well, my numbers don't count for your agents, but what if these emerging agents were to make 1,000 contacts between now and the end of the month? Now that might mean one person that's full-time is doing 75, and one person that's part-time is increasing their numbers and they're doing 10 a day. You know, and they're trying to get up to 50 a week. So an encouragement to kind of stretch, because that's what's happening in the BOLD room also. So just because someone couldn't be here, I didn't want them to miss the challenge, you know, miss the opportunity. So
what does these contacts look like besides our phone? Our contacts in our phone?
I say contact, we're talking about conversations. We're talking about you letting 80, 100 people a week, you know, you're saying, hey, how are you, Lakia? It's Kelly. I know we haven't talked in a little bit. I just wanted to check in. Summer's coming up. What are you guys doing to get away from? How's the family? You know, you follow the natural cadence of the conversation, but me calling my mom does not count as a contact. That woman is not ready to buy or sell right now, so that doesn't count. So you have to be deliberate about why we're doing this. Yes, we are in the business of relationship building, but what we're actually trying to do is remind them what we do, see if we can help them, and then what would it look like if we said, I'm looking to grow my business exponentially this year. I know that you're not looking to buy or sell right now. Do you have someone in your world, a friend, a family, a coworker that I could be talking to right now? And and then what's gonna happen is the person on the other side is probably gonna filter through stuff. They're gonna be like, well, I could tell you about my niece, but you know, she's not gonna buy for a couple more years. That's okay. Your niece has never bought. She doesn't know what it takes to buy. I would love to be in conversation with her, helping her get to that goal by providing some benchmarks to meet. Let's talk about your credit. That takes a little bit of time to clean up. Let's talk about your work history. Let's talk about your savings. So really, I know that you're saying she doesn't need, that's great. Me checking in occasionally just helps her get to that goal quicker. Would you be willing to give me that name and number? Can you put us all in a group text together? And you want to kind of do that to close the knot, because sometimes we're like, hey, can you have some business? They're like, sure, I'm going to send you somebody.
Right.
Hasn't come yet, you know. So, and you know, so different ways to, would you be comfortable putting us into a group text? That way you can see how I respond to them, and they know that I legitimately know you and you legitimately are introducing us. And most of the time people are like, sure. It's because it's a text. They're like, done. So there's a way to do it. I didn't get on the board because it took too long to happen, but reached out to someone who was like, she misunderstood what I was asking, took my business card, ran next door, and put it on her neighbor's porch for me. Isn't that so kind? What's his name? Can I have his number? can I at least have the address so I can follow up with him?
Right.
So, I mean, so you're going to, and I honestly was surprised that of all the people that did that, it was her. I mean, I figured she might be like, yeah, maybe, and let's catch up on Thursday. The fact that she took my card and went next door, you know, because he'd been talking about it. So again, that happened because I had the conversation. So, you know, so that is what we are talking about. So for when we're in BOLD, all of the people that are participating have a goal of 100 contacts a week. 100 conversations. And they don't have to all be like this. It could be text. It could be across social media. But me saying, nice outfit, is not a request for business.
No. Okay.
It really, you know, like I can start with nice outfit.
Right.
You know, and then,
follow
yeah,
up with something
yes.
else.
So, but ultimately, because, and here is one thing that I did it myself. I've seen other people do it. They're like, oh my God, I called like 20 people, nothing. And then I had to sit back and I was like, okay, well I talked to 20 people. I didn't ask them all for business. You know, I figured, I'm like, well, they know I'm a realtor. You know, but that doesn't mean that they're thinking about how my business can grow. I need to be thinking about that, and I'm going to ask for their help. So I just needed to give them some guidance. But that there's going to be a lot of conversation. Now, one of the things, where did I write it down? So, you know, we keep saying lead gen, and it is, get ready to get sick of hearing it, because when the market gets crazy, you might have to talk to more people to find your client. There's a lot happening outside. So if people don't have to move because have a new job, because they're pregnant, because they're downsizing, you know, they may be sitting on the sidelines, not knowing what's going on, and just thinking, well, it feels weird out here in the world, maybe it's not the time. So really what we're in the relationship business, that's really what we're doing.
Right.
Like instead of lead gen, I just really want to keep building relationships, because when things are hard, it's our people that rise the water and make us feel like we're not drowning. We don't know if our call might be hitting somebody else. Now, maybe they are not ready to buy, sell, or invest, but maybe all they really needed was you to remember to reach out to them and like just to have that conversation.
Right. And they'll think of you.
And they're exactly. They're going to think of you. So I always say people want to do business with who they like, they know, and they trust. So obviously we're going to ask for business, but just while we're having these conversations, we are building these relationships and helping them realize all the person that we are. I am more than just a real estate agent. I actually know this. I can actually share this information. I could be a resource for this. It just gives us a chance to be more places. So I loved that. Not lead gen, focus on building relationships. Now, let's see, so flip around pages. So I talk about the BOLD laws, of which there are 38 currently. Recently, they worked with Gary Keller, who pulled 10 commandments, for lack of a better word, 10 bold truths. And I kind of want to go over them because they all feed into each other. And I just thought it was really impactful. Happiness is a choice. I think that we all know that, but being reminded of that, because, you know, we all have had things that have happened during the week, but we get to choose our attitude about it, because two things can be true. You could be navigating a very sad, stressful, upsetting time, and the sun is still going to come out, and your children are still going to be the funny things that they are, and your dog is still going to play. Life is still going to happen. You can be very upset or sad, but still there is happiness is out there. So if we focus on that happiness choice, like again, it's just going to change our whole mindset. Life is an inside job. Number 2, Like we need to be a part of it. We need to put roots down. We need to actually walk through this experience and live it. Number 3, now this one we talk about a lot. What you focus on expands. And that is it's a perception, but it's actually a reality. If you feel that all that happens is everybody listens to me and asks me for advice, and then they go and they work with somebody else. Mm-hmm. That will 100% be the reality. That is all you're going to see. That is going to affect your cadence with how you talk to people. And they're just going to read that from you, and you're going to perpetuate the thing that you don't like. So when we are doing this, we need to, like, how awesome is it that we sat in a room, the timer went up for 15 minutes, we have 17, we split the room in half, mm-hmm. 3 appointments on one side of the room, 1 appointment on the other, and 14 referrals on one side, 13 on the other. In 15 minutes, that mm-hmm. level of activity occurred in this room of 40 people. Okay. And it was about, like, they said, well, we're going to do this right now.
Oh, they were calling.
Yeah. We were like, they split the room in half, and they were like, all right, start calling. And they gave us a quick little script. I've used it before. Basically, it's to the effect, I think you took a picture of it, but, I'm in the room, we're doing a contest. We are looking to get a number of contacts, and I need your help. Yeah, I mean, literally. Who do you know that I could be talking to about real estate? Like literally asking for the referral. That's all it was. Just a quick call for a referral. Or text. Now what was hilarious about it was, some people called. I did a video actually because I was feeling super cringy. So I went ahead and leaned in on it. And I did a video, and I just texted the video with a text following that said, cringy but true. Yeah. And just kind of, and so I did that because I needed to feel uncomfortable also. And I was like, this is the quickest way I can do this. And it was crazy because the energy kind of grew. Like maybe I didn't get something right away, but somebody called me back, and Trish texted and called people, and then they were texting and calling her back. And we're 15 minutes into the next activity and somebody's phone is going off. Mm-hmm. People want to help. We're kind people. We want to help when you're very specific. And that was very specific. It wasn't dancing around. Mm-hmm. It was very specific. I'm asking for your help. Okay. And people wanted to. And sometimes I think that we're too afraid of being salesy mm-hmm. that we don't deliver succinctly the request. So they're like, well, that was great. I just talked to Keleigh for a little bit, Right. But maybe they just didn't hear it. But when you say, I need your help, they were like, okay. My friend ran next door and put a card on somebody's house. Somebody else, 3 referrals. Right there. Uh-huh. And the person shared, she was like, they know I'm a real estate agent. They could have given those to me at any point. Mm-hmm. She asked for them, and they were right there, ready to go. So that could be happening in our world. Obviously, what you focus on expands. If you think that it's going to work out for you, it will work out for you. This is one, she said it a lot of times, makes me nervous because I have to be more of this. But number 4, the path is in the math. She does not mean, we weren't really talking about the transaction, how it breaks down. What we were talking about was having data to see and reflect upon. Mm-hmm. If you did call 100 people, what does that look like? How many appointments did you get? How many, opportunities for new business did you find? Because there's a general number that we have. And so if you get more than that, amazing. Tell us about your success. And if it didn't happen, maybe 1, you didn't talk to the right 100 people right away. But 2, there is a reality in that number too. I made 100 phone calls. I didn't get a single appointment. I didn't get a single referral. Well, phone call, text.
Okay.
So BOLD used to not, there used to be no texting, everybody quit day one.
Okay.
You are now allowed to text. I still keep saying phone call.
Okay.
But yes, text, phone call, communicate. So if you communicated with 100 people and you got no appointments, okay. If you did it a second week, okay, let's look at these numbers though, because that isn't a typical result. So let's talk about who you're calling. Let's talk about that conversation. Let's figure out what this data is actually telling us. And she kept saying the word accountable and all of this, and you know me, I've got a tracker now, and I want that data because when people get frustrated, I want to be able to say to them, do you remember when you told me that 5 phone calls was all you could do? You might be frustrated, but you earned it. You did 65 calls this week. You earned being frustrated this week. At least we have the data. Because the other part of it is our perception gets warped. And having true metrics help us. You know, we feel like we have been killing ourselves at this. But if we're actually tracking it and looking at it and scheduling our time and looking at our time blocks, and we're like, okay, I'm not really killing myself at this. I spend 45 minutes of my 2-hour social media time farting around and doing nothing. You know, it gives us a place to come from, and it does help us correct our reality too. Number 6, life is not fair. I mean,
something. What did I miss? What was 4?
5, there is no try. I'm sorry, I skipped. I should have looked at your numbers and jumped over here.
I'll just do this. You said what?
Number 5, there is no try. Now,
that's number 5.
that is number 5.
Okay.
There is no try. So here's the replace. And for those of you that have been doing exactly what to say with us, we've been talking a lot about how can we say the same thing in a different way. So what we really need to be doing is swapping try for do.
I wrote down, do it afraid, do it messy, just do it.
I love it. Like the example that she did was like, you know, there is no try. So like just literally do it. And it was so funny because she said, take your pen and drop it on the floor. And she goes, now try to pick it up. She's like, no, you know, so some people didn't know what to do. Some people just picked it up. Well, they did it. So you're not trying, you're doing it. I'm trying to find more business. I'm working to find more business. It validates you and what you are doing. And it makes it easier for you to remember that you are doing important work for yourself for the right reasons. I love that little swap because I think all of us fall to it.
That's my thing now, though, because I used to be, sometimes, you know, you get nervous, I'm doing something, I'm like, just do it. They can only say yes or no. You know, just ask. You know, sometimes, even when I don't want to talk, I'm like, okay, just do it.
And if it's a no, maybe it's a not right now, maybe it's a later.
Right.
Or maybe it's a I know somebody.
Right.
So a no is not always a definitive no.
Well, and too, sometimes you have to listen. There's definitely brain numbers out there. You hear, like, you will say no a certain number of times until you get to the yes. And sometimes the no isn't a no, it's just, I don't have enough information to say a yes.
Right.
I asked a soft question, so they're just gonna say no. If I were really concise, you know, are you thinking about selling this year? No.
That's a yes or no answer.
Yeah, like one, I didn't ask, you know, and it's very passive. What would it look like for you if we could find your dream home even in this market? What would that look like for you? Would it be exciting? Obviously, yes. I mean, they're not gonna look at me now and say no.
Right.
You know, so it's just, and then, because then that gives us a place to go. Where did that no come from? Maybe they just don't think it's possible right now because there are so many people that, again, look at what's happening. They don't have a professional to kind of guide them. So they're like, well, it's just not a good time to buy right now. Eggs or whatever, gas prices are this, there's this. So they think that and they say no because that's protective. And it's just because they maybe need some more information. Number 6, life is not fair. I mean, sure, it's not. But if life isn't fair and that's the baseline that we all accept, that means that life not being fair has nothing to do with our success.
Right.
So what are we getting in our way about? We already all agree that life is not fair. Yeah.
What are we gonna do about it?
What are we gonna do about it?
To change that. So.
It just, like, I love it. It's like so succinct, Life is not fair. Okay, you're right.
Let's try to change
The point.
It is. But when you get over that, it changes how you see. Because if you just keep, again, focusing on how it's not fair, it's going to continue to be not fair.
Right.
and like my mom used to, I think if you had a sibling, you probably heard the life is not fair early lesson. Like, yeah, it's not, like Mike got this and you got this and life is not fair. You are not the same, life is not fair. So, but when you become an adult, you're like, oh crap, it's still not fair. It's still not right. Number 7. So, you have heard me say, like one of my most favorite bold laws, because it speaks to me personally, is fail fast, fail forward. Apparently, Gary has decided to upgrade that, but it did get moved to the top 10. His new version of that is, you fail your way to success.
I heard that.
Which is, I think I want to do a home buyer presentation. Okay, you know what? We didn't have enough time to plan it. So next time I'm going to plan it better. We did it on a nighttime. Maybe we need to do it during the day. But you have to do it to gather data to change it.
Sure. That's true.
I mean, you really do. But this one, I think the reason that one hits so hard for me is because that speaks to what I do. Like, it's not going to be perfect. Oh my gosh, and I'm going to spend 4 hours adjusting fonts in Canva for a phrase, for a sticker that someone's going to slap on a water bottle. I mean, really? But yeah, look, I lost 6 hours, beat myself up.
Yes, I know that.
And then I went ahead and I set a timer, 20 minutes. If you can't get this sticker made, and I don't love to do this stuff because I get caught in the small things, set a timer. I got 20 minutes to fail fast and fail forward now.
Yeah.
But, because I need these stickers. I want these stickers.
I want to get it 20 minutes.
Yeah. But I can't lose all day doing the sticker because I have other stuff to do too. So, you fail your way to success, which means you have to try.
Yeah, you have to. And it might not work the first time, like you said.
Yeah.
And then that'll mean give up. You keep trying and try it another way.
Well, and what's really interesting is like, just because it didn't work exactly the way you wanted it to doesn't mean it didn't work. 1,000 stickers with Realtor Keleigh and Love Where You Live is doing something. 1,000 people have a sticker with my name on it. It did something. I may not like it, I may want to change it, but it still did something. And there's action in that.
And you also said, it was either you or the presenter, you said that they don't know what's in your mind.
I did say that.
So in your mind, you could have a unicorn and rainbows and, home is your happy place. Let me help you find your happy place. And then on the sticker, it just ends up being a colorful sticker because you couldn't find the right unicorn, you couldn't find the right rainbow, and the wording didn't fit, and nothing worked. They don't know that. They just know that you created a sticker, super cute. I'm going to stick it on my phone. I'm going to stick it on my binder. I'm going to stick it on whatever I have because it's cute, and I support Keleigh.
Right.
So that was another thing that kind of stuck with me that you said.
Thank you. I tell myself that a lot. I'm just working on it. But it is that. Because honestly, that is where, for so many people, that's what it is. It's like we want it to be perfect, and we want it to match this image in our head, and then now it's out in the world, and you're like, it's not exactly it.
They don't know that.
Yeah. And this is the other part. You know what? I will not make those stickers again. I'm going to change it out this time.
Right.
I've already got a template. So it took forever. I'm like, okay, now I can figure out how to lighten the green and darken the blue or change the font if I want. But it started from an action. Like it started from the chutzpah to take the first step to just do it, you know. Number 8, where belief lives, fear can't. So if you are clear with yourself and are doing what you said you would do, show up as the person you said you would be, do the things that you said you would do, there's not any room for fear. You are doing true organic things, you know, like to you.
Right.
And staying close to what you believe in keeps you out of the fear zone. Knowing that this is what I'm doing. If I continue to do this, I mean, any agent in this room, any person that has done this, any person that does anything, they have highs and lows.
Right.
But the belief is what keeps you going through the dark time. I mean, that's not just in our business, that's in our life.
Yeah.
And again, that comes up, so these all build on each other. Like that, you know, that belief is that love for yourself, that desire, that happiness. So like these things just all feed into each other. And if we are living a life that we enjoy, that we are happy about, that we are satisfied with because it aligns with our heart and our mind and what the person we want to be, there isn't any room for fear. We may be discouraged, we may be disappointed in a day, but that's not fear. Fear grabs us and shakes us around.
Right.
You know, cannot give up that power. So, you know, lean into your belief system. Number 9, no one succeeds alone. Today, that much activity happened in a room full of people. And, you know, success is contagious. Think about who you need along for the ride. Having the woman that had 3 referrals, oh, that's an allied resource. Like you take that person for coffee. You send them a gift card. If they're willing to do that for you, like reward that.
Right.
You have why buy a lead? Who knows what's going on with them? I have a friend that lives in an apartment community and is connecting me with every single person that starts talking about, I'm getting ready. You know, like that's what it could be. I wish I did. I'm gonna go get that. We're all gonna go get that.
Yeah.
But no one succeeds alone. And it's that way all the way through. As you're starting your business, as you're doing it, I mean, it's gonna be you and the title team and the lender that's gonna get it across the line. Yeah, so you need people around you. Let them have that. You know, let them be there along and help you with that. And number 10, love is always the answer. Just end on a high note. Because it is. And what's so interesting, there are 2 things that I hear all the time in my conversations with emerging agents. $100,000. I even said it when I first started, because we're like, if you haven't made that money up to that point, that sounds like it's going to change everything. $100,000, but the other thing that almost every single agent says is, I want to help people. Love is the answer. You want to help people. That comes from a kind and genuine place. So if you get in your head and you think that you are doing something salesy, no, you just want to help people. Yeah, you're helping them. And just flip that scenario in your head, because that is what you're doing, you know? And I just love that this reverb, like this rework of them. But man, I love all of the bold laws. They're just so good. A couple of things, like we had a couple of different points where we were sharing some ahas, and I kind of have sprinkled some in, but I wanted to go back through my notes. So, now these are not I agree with that. But so these are things that came out, and these are not my personal ahas. These are what other people in the room said.
Okay.
So I wanted to share other people's perspectives. So it isn't just me telling you to do the thing. Literally, first thing, first aha, just do the video. Like literally, the first aha. Now, not that we had spent 40 minutes talking about video or anything like that,
Yeah,
but what we were talking about, they realized for them that is a stumbling point. Just do the video, which is why I did a video message. I was like, yeah, you're right, I need to do it too. Just do the video. Don't forget the call to action for your posts.
Meaning?
So when we do a social media post, well, now getting there, when we are doing things that are to get our business, when we're not like showing, a part about us, when we are truly like, we're like, all right, I'm going to put this out and it's about mortgage rates and what it's like to buy. Well, then, if you're going to do all of this to create a marketing post, don't forget the hook. Do not forget to actually set it by asking for the business.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And that can be done a ton of different ways. Message me for more details. Reply pen, as she had said, for this.
Yeah.
So the actual call to action. Because sometimes people are like, oh my God, I posted 20 things this week and nobody did anything.
Yeah, okay.
Well, let's look at your 20 posts. Love your outfit. That dog is cute. Interest rates, we both knew. And like you can go through them and you're like, well, how could we have changed this? You can post an interest rate. You can share that to your social media. I'm a realtor, I'm sharing updates. That's great. It also takes about 3 more seconds to drop a little, if you're on Instagram, one of those like little stickers that are like, are you ready to buy in 2025 or 2026? Make it a poll. Does this scare you or excite you? Message me. Drop an emoji that matches this vibe. I mean, you like just something to get the interaction, to get the engagement, to get the more than a scroll. Oh, something for me to do. Trish wants me to like move the toggle fire bar to tell her how much I always do it for the vintage wallpaper. Tell her how much I love it. Just a little bit of action. You want to do that because sometimes you're like, I'm posting all this stuff, but nothing's happening.
Yeah,
We're forgetting the hook and the call to action.
Okay.
I did write this down. So I this one was mine. This was my aha. Smart swap, not lead generation, instead relationship building. I think that if everybody really got that rebrand in their brain, I'm not saying that you're still gonna jump out of bed. Woo! Let's make a phone call. But it changes what you're doing and it makes what you're doing feel more important. Intrinsic value is why we do things. Like when people do kind things for others, it's like when we go down and clean up after, weather disasters and things like that. It's not because I want someone to be like, okay, thanks so much for being here. It's because of how it makes me feel to help somebody.
Right.
So, relationship building. That makes me feel a lot better. I'm like here helping them. I'm building a friendship. They need this. It just changes how you feel. You don't feel salesy if you're building a relationship.
Right. And it helps them feel better.
I agree. Yeah.
And the purchase they're making.
And am I the only one? I think that most of us kind of can tell when somebody's in it for us or if they're in it for them. That's not building a relationship. Like right away, like we all have a fairly strong BS meter. So, and knowing that the people we talk to are going to have the same thing, so we might as well just remember that we're just helping. We're just building relationships. We said we wanted to help people. It means we got to call them to see if we can help them. Right. Be obsessed with the journey, not tied to the outcome. That's a very important one, and I think that that's going to carry us far. And again, enjoying the opportunity to do the stuff. I get to have these conversations. I get to have these conversations in my PJs at 8 a.m. in my own home. You know, sometimes that's what they're obsessed about. That's the best part of their journey. They've had to always leave the house and be, you know, and this is a part of their business and are excited about it. Enjoy what you're doing and not tied to the outcome. Now, not that we're not tracking and that we're not going to keep track of the things that we do in our activities, but don't think, I'm going to call and get an appointment. I'm going to call and get an appointment. I'm going to call and get an appointment. Think, I'm going to call and check in with my high school friend. I'm going to call and talk to my auntie. I'm going to call and talk to the next door neighbor. I'm going to build a relationship. Because then that's all you want to do. So everything else is a big, beautiful surprise. And if you answer, and many people telegraph what they're getting ready to do through thoughts and actions and speech. So sometimes people don't have a really good filter, and it's very obvious to the person on the other side what this really is. So I thought that was really helpful. Stay consistent and protect your time blocks. I agree. Consistent sets a pattern so you know what you're going to do. A lot of us fumbled. Some of us picked up right away when we had the classroom activity. Some of us needed a minute because we're like, oh shoot, I wasn't ready for this. Hold on, am I going to text them? Am I going to call them? Am I going to, what am I going to do? And some people needed a minute. If you are consistent, then you know what you're going to do. And you can get to it. You don't have to get started, you're just going to do it. You also are creating habits. When it's a habit, it's a lot easier to do. Brushing your teeth is not going to ruin your day any longer. When you were 2, like you laid on the bathroom floor, you didn't want to do it. But every day, your parents took you to that bathroom to brush your teeth. And eventually, that just became, and you moved out, and you didn't need your parents anymore, and you still know you brush your teeth, right? And it's a consistent habit that you can't even imagine not ever doing it. Conversations with people every week can become just like toothbrushing. The habit you would never imagine not doing. So another one, reaching out doesn't take as long as I thought, which I incredibly appreciate. Anyone else think that put off for 40 minutes doing the task that took 10? Anybody? Sound familiar?
That was my takeaway. That was one of my ahas because I sat there and I texted probably 25 to 30 people, and it was just a copy and paste and a little bit of personalization, adding a name or signing my name because I'm not 100% familiar with my contact. And it felt like it was 30 minutes and it was only 15. And
it was 25 and 15.
Yeah, it was.
Those are great numbers.
It was.
Write that down when you're like, oh my God.
It felt like I did a lot more in a longer period of time. And she said, how long do you think that was? And everybody was like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. She goes, 15 minutes. So in my mind, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Don't be scared.
Yes.
And going back to the be obsessed with the journey, not tied to the outcome, fall in love with the process and reap the rewards. That was another one that kind of tied in with that. And I like that. If
you were to create your perfect, this is what it looks like. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to do it. I'm going to schedule it. I'm going to do it. Like, what would that look like? Like, do you have a set time that is better for you? Just spending time getting to know yourself to help build the habit too, though. I know a lot of people that really want to quit smoking and wait till after their parents' surgery to smoke because they're like, why make it harder for myself? I'm going to be stressed, so I'm going to wait. It's okay to do that. If that little bit of a switch helps you be more successful at what you want to do. Like, don't stack the cards against yourself.
But don't procrastinate just to procrastinate because of self-doubt. That was just do it. Like, that was a huge takeaway that I had today.
And you were doing it too. Sometimes, you know, again, the accountability piece, like, I'm still talking people off ledges about this. But, like, the number one, well, in the past, Weight Watchers was the number one way. If you talk to someone and they had a dramatic result, most of the time what they said, oh, I Weight Watchers, or I'm tracking my meals. Okay, so there's some kind of an accountability piece. The success is there if you do the things you said you're gonna do, but like, you know, and just like kind of figuring that out. So having a room full of people, and every week I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna celebrate together, and we're gonna replan together. There's a power to that, and that is what happens. And by doing it for 6 weeks in a row, we have this. You kind of start to know now. You know what to expect next Wednesday, and you kind of come in. But you're building that habit. You're changing your mindset. You know, you're kind of getting started because you're starting to realize, I can't make it perfect. This is what I need for my own success. Like, the way you walk into BOLD on day 2 is different because now you're like, well, I kind of know some stuff and I'm going to prepare for it. I'm going to wear swishy pants because I'm going to be out there walking because I'm going to call. You know, you start planning a little bit more. But if we do that with our different tasks, like, I hate email. I take that back. It's wonderful, it's fine, it's great, it's a wonderful tool. I hate having to get into my email and read and follow up. When it's not important stuff. I'm like, okay, this is a very nice article that I need to read sometimes, not today. So now I get up earlier so I can clear email. Because sometimes I'll see it and I'm like, you know what, that it's a trigger for me. I'm like, oh, I saw this, I want to make sure they saw this house. So I'm going to text them. So it just, you know, changing little tweaks about yourself to get ready to do the thing. And it's for me, it was a lot easier to do email at 6 a.m. with a cat in my lap on the couch with my computer. And I also started by, I'm like, you only have to do it for 15 minutes, literally set a timer. And I got it done. I'm like, okay, like, really, again, we spent 40 minutes putting off the task that's going to take us 12.
I haven't got to that point yet. My email.
Well,
I'll get there.
It is a necessary evil. I mean, you know, sometimes my texts could have been an email, but so I'm trying to think, like, anything else? Trish, did you have anything that you kind of thought would be helpful as a takeaway?
So, you know me and my notes.
Yes, you were highlighter crazy.
Yes.
I was trying to figure out your pattern. I was like, oh, I wonder if the green means something, yellow means something.
It's just to draw my eyes in different.
Okay.
I like rainbow in different colors and, let happiness define you, not circumstance. And to tie into that, life is literally by choice, not chance. To be human is to have a choice. So it's about choosing to just do it. Be bold. Come up with a plan. It doesn't have to be perfect, just do it. I also have a note here that says, perfection is boring.
And yet we all want to be boring.
Be authentically you and post it. Make mistakes. Be okay with it. Don't be a robot. Be silly. Be honest. Be authentic. That's what people want to see.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And honestly, I think that as we accept ourselves being authentic, then we do take steps away from the desire to be perfect and the things that are getting in our way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, again, because fail fast, fail forward is another version of the same sentiment. So obviously, I am not the only person that has dealt with this. I mean, you know, like we've all kind of, and I think that, like to your point, what you said, it is just accept this as the fact, and this is the baseline, you know, and just realize
We all
that.
make these mistakes, especially social media, and I know sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I shouldn't have did this. And then I get somebody like, well, I didn't even notice it looked good to me. Well, I didn't notice. And they say, you know, I think we're our own critics sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
then
back
also,
into they don't know your vision.
right.
So what you put out there, even though you're like your worst critic saying, no, this is not what I needed.
Or I should have did it this way. Or I should have did it. Or I messed up.
Yes.
They don't know you.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yes.
But one girl told me yesterday, 2 days ago, she was like, I love the colors. It was like sometimes, you know, you post things, but then this one had so much color and it was so inviting. And I was like, really? I said, oh, okay.
All right, get some
I
more
didn't
color
think
in
about that. Let me
there.
go back and look at that and see
Yeah.
what was the difference in this one compared to that one.
Well, like, so I was thinking about, there was someone was in the room and they were sharing something. And it was, what she was sharing was a growth opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of thought about you when I was thinking about it. She was talking about how she had this perfect opportunity to do something quirky, different, and, you know, it's so authentic to her. And she didn't do it. And the time has passed. And like when everybody in the room was like, oh my God, why didn't you do that?
I
Right.
totally would have paused and watched that.
Yes. And like when you said, but like you did it. We talked and you were like, I'm gonna go down to Atlanta, I'm gonna see my friend, we're gonna do the t-shirt, we're gonna do the thing, we're gonna do it all. And that is what you did.
Mm-hmm.
If you had made that plan and then afterward you're like, oh, like you can't
No,
get
we
back
should've.
you can't get back down to Atlanta tomorrow to recreate this. She couldn't recreate that certain set of circumstances.
Right.
So now when you're sitting back and you're not as emotional about the choice, does it still feel as great? You're like, I wanted it to be perfect and I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now 3 weeks later, I can't remember what it felt like to want it to be perfect so bad. Now I'm just kicking myself in the butt that I didn't do it.
Yeah, true.
So we do walk away from our own perfection sometimes
Right.
also. So the quicker we do that, the less opportunity, you know, that we could miss. Because this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
We do this, you know, most people show up multiple days a week as their real estate authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for us to continue to do that, just keep gathering more, don't miss another opportunity.
Right.
Just do it this way.
I gotta get in front of that camera. I've been so nervous to get in front. I'm slowly but surely moving into getting in front.
So that's
Well,
another thing, accountability. So
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna just throw this out to anyone watching and anyone in the room. We ended today with the Misogi Challenge, which you can look up if you're curious about it. It's a, it is a, well here, let me
it's
just.
about transformation.
Yes, it's about doing something that's so big, dramatic, out of your comfort zone, that there's no way it won't impact your life, regardless of the outcome. And I heard some wonderful things, for the life of me, I cannot find it. So I heard some wonderful things, and so the challenge is to think about that for yourself. Like, what would that look like personally? What would that look like professionally? Like, what is a goal that you could put out there? Now, we all have a goal, and then we soften it so that we can achieve it. And that's understandable, that's human nature.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not how the real world works. They don't bring down the pole vault because you're 5 foot tall and everybody else is 6 foot tall. It's still the same bar. We need to do the same thing. And so writing down a couple of things that you would like to see happen, I thought was really impactful. Trish, did you want to share yours?
Sure. So my Misagi challenge is to go live online and have people view my channel live. And when sharing that with the group, the presenter challenged me and said, how many times? And I said, oh, I don't know. She said, okay, by when? When are you gonna go live? I said, oh, you're putting me on the spot. Okay.
I thought I had a year to do this.
My birthday. And she's like, when's that? And I said, May 1st. She said, okay, a week, a little over a week. How many times are you gonna go live in a little over a week? I said, oh, again, you're challenging me. Okay, twice. And she said, okay, for how long? And I said, another challenge. I'm like figuring this out on the fly, and I'm like looking around at all my peers, and I'm like, how long do people go live? Like,
literally, this was happening in the
like,
room.
30? And they're like, no, that's too long. I'm like, somebody yells 5, and I'm like, I feel like that's too short to even get somebody. And I said 15, and everyone said, yeah, that's a good number.
Go live.
So my Misaki challenge is to go live 2 times by May 1st, and she made me schedule it in my calendar. So I am holding myself accountable
You have to get it.
to go live twice for 15 minutes. And then even after the meeting, I was like, what the heck am I gonna go live about? I don't even know where to begin. Like, do I want it to just be real estate, or do I want it to be like real life me? And
Well, since you're doing it twice, it could be one of each.
correct. So that's what we talked about. So one's gonna be like about park life, and I have to have a hook in there. Somewhere, somehow, I have to incorporate a hook. Like, hey, I'm at a park, I'm walking through South Sugar and Reservation, Metro Parks, and you know, I'm loving all of the tree detail and all the flowers and all of the wildlife that I'm hearing and seeing. What's your favorite park? And that's the hook.
Engagement.
Yes. So I'm excited but terrified at the same time. But I'm going to hold myself accountable to do that. And no matter what I feel like I look like, if I feel like I'm double chin McGee on the screen and nasal voice and all the fun
You
stuff.
guys act like I don't have to walk in front of this camera every single
I
time.
know, but you're so used to it.
But it doesn't,
It
like,
doesn't make it
two
any
things can be
better.
true.
Mhm.
I do it because it helps everyone else, and that's why I do. Sometimes it's easier to be uncomfortable for somebody else.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't need to do this, but there are people that couldn't be here that are interested, and I want them to be successful, so I don't want them to miss. So that's why I do it.
Be comfortable.
So let me ask you a question though. So social media, I'm just gonna throw this out here. So your real estate page.
Yes.
I'm debating on if I should add another one or not.
We did
but it's
talk
driving
about
me
this.
We
crazy.
did talk about that.
But do you add, okay, you add personal stuff, you know, your personality and things like that on there. But do you separate it? Somebody told me, Lakia, when you start real estate, don't ever just make a real estate page. It's boring. I don't like looking at real
Correct.
estate pages. But then somebody told me, no, you should separate them recently. And I'm just like, but I'm like, it is boring if you're just real estate. So would you add like how personal and, or, you know, cause I'm a poster. So I wanted to combine, I like to travel. I like to do things.
Yeah.
So I wanted to combine it. But then when I started doing it, it seemed like it was starting to get a little personal compared to real estate.
Can I share the like?
Go ahead. Yes.
So you want to use the like model to create content. So like stands for local lowdown. So share important information about your area. Information, share information about anything. Know me, share something personal about yourself. And engage in conversation. So instead of just thumbs upping someone's,
Oh,
Hey,
like or
I love
liking it
it.
or
Yeah.
love it.
actually
Say something.
say, hey, I see you liked my post. What did you like about it? I'm looking to expand my social media and how can I do or be better? You know, what did you like about this? Engage in the conversation. Or, hey, I see that you like this. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate support. If you can share this with a friend, that would help me out even more. So, like, local lowdown, information, know me, and engage in conversation.
That's good.
Keeping that, God bless you to have, like, these people that have to, like, there's a lot.
This drives me crazy.
And here's the thing. We want them to know us, we want them to like us, we want them to trust us. We might as well show up and be authentic. We know that people are there. And the other thing, the people that create 2 pages because they're like, oh, I want to keep my personal life personal, I'm like, well, then don't create a private page at all. Because if you think that they can't find my Keleigh sugar, because that's just silliness. They're going to find it. So I just do everything through one, because then they're all there. They're here for the outfits. They're staying for the cat video. They know that I post funky fixtures for wallpaper. They love to see the houses that I'm in. You know, so they're here for the whole experience.
Okay.
And somebody also said, how many times are you scrolling through your social media and you see a just listed, just sold, new list, and do you stop and look at it, or do you just scroll by because it's not 100% interesting?
If it's too much, I'll scroll by.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you have a professional Facebook and it's all just listed, under contract, sold, coming to market, nobody's really going to pay attention.
That's what he told me. He was a marketing person who told me. He said, no, you just don't want that. Just all real estate. Like, please don't do it. Okay.
So a good balance, like 2 professional posts a week, I would say.
But I mean, yeah, whatever, yeah, you're...
Yeah, 2 to 3, because you want balance. I've noticed in because I have a combined social media, I will post something with real estate and I get like no responses. And then I'll post a personal picture of like a sunset.
1,000 responses.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So I'm always going to mix professional and personal so that I'm still getting action on my page one way or another. I always want to be top of mind when somebody thinks of real estate, so I'm always going to post something about real estate. Whether they see it now or they see it in a week, I'm getting notifications of they liked a post that I posted 2 weeks ago. And it's like, sometimes people aren't on social media every day. Sometimes they get caught up in, 3 hours in a day because they have nothing to do and they're just doom scrolling. And they come across my real estate post of, hey, we're under contract, we closed the 28th. And it's like, congratulations. And that was like 2 weeks ago I posted that, but cool, thanks for noticing.
Right.
I will always mix. Keep it interesting.
Right.
Well, and for someone, and because here's the thing, one of the points that did come out, I love the activity she did, because we have talked about this, the different ways for you to have conversations about real estate and build your business. And she was like, well, fine, you don't want to do this, don't do it, but you have to pick something that, that you do like enough to do well, to be consistent at it. Like you're like, okay, I don't want to call expires and I don't want to call FSBO.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
But you need to have, but I challenge you to have multiple things that you enjoy doing, because social media doesn't get everybody all the time.
No.
There are a lot of under 30-year-olds that are not trusting AI and have realized, they hold their mental health in a different light than we do, and they realize that. So they're like, there's a lot of 25-year-olds that'll be like, well, I don't do social like during the week, or so there's a lot of that. So if you're like, I'm pouring all of this into my social media, and that's the only lever you're using.
I don't believe that one.
Like you do have to have some balance.
Right.
And for me, I do post a lot about local, but I'm obviously most of the time in the picture too, because I'm at the event.
Right.
I'm part of the management for it, or I'm part of the team.
I don't know if it just be local, like I said, because I like to travel. But I get so much and get so many people say I should do a blog, but I'm just like, I haven't done it yet. But I'm just like, well, shoot, I might as well just have them together.
Yeah.
And because you get different traffic, and everybody's looking to go here to this place, but then if there are a real estate post in there, it's like, okay, I'm also a realtor, so that can get them other people looking also.
And what I love about your travel, if you were to do that, is when people like it, you're like, that was Naples, Florida. Are you ready to move? Let me connect you with a realtor down there. Because there is a whole business that could be built on referrals.
25 to 30% commission for referrals. For doing nothing but
Yeah.
being over a name.
Yes, so we can talk more about that. Like
Yeah.
my auntie is moving from Florida to Georgia. I have 2 referral partners in 2
Right.
different
I think you did
states.
tell me that.
Love that.
But
And that's what we were saying. That's what we made the post. And our post basically was saying, if you're looking to relocate from Cleveland to Atlanta, we're here to assist you through
I know.
and so I'm just like, well, then somebody told me yesterday, that was a great post. Y'all should do more like that. So many people aren't moving. I was like, oh.
See?
Well, maybe we do.
Feedback.
Oh yeah. I'm like, that was about a month ago.
Yeah.
Still thinking about that post.
But
Yes.
but like we talked about it for a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
she did it, and
Yeah,
the
that
way
is.
she felt about it and everything, like when you
It wasn't
finally
perfect.
do,
Trust me, it wasn't perfect.
no, but doing
We
the
did it.
thing that you didn't want to do and finally doing it, like, or just
Yeah.
nervous about doing it, like there's a sense of accomplishment in that.
That's true.
And perfection is boring, remember?
Yeah. I know, because I keep looking at my shirt. But okay, yeah.
No, fix that shirt.
But it's okay. But yeah, I
Perfection is
understand.
boring.
I
They
understand.
want to know that you're also a human.
That's true.
Yeah.
With how
Yeah.
many AI videos are out there,
Mm-hmm.
you can't even tell who's a human and who's AI
That
anymore.
is true. That is true.
So to see a mistake,
Make my
to,
life better.
to hear somebody stumble on a video is, oh, they're human too.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, let me keep track of time.
So I know there's 9 o'clock in here, it's always that. So like for the people that are in the bold room, and I'm gonna share this with everyone so you can play along. 100 contacts until next Wednesday. 100 conversations, 100 chances to build a relationship to help someone. So that's a big, important challenge, and if you do it, the business will grow. So you don't have to have a purple tablecloth to do the 100 calls.
But also
And-
write down who you're contacting so you can keep track.
Yes. Like we did
So-
talk about that. There was a lot of some people are in a spreadsheet, some
Yes.
people are in their phone,
Post-it notes.
post-it notes. Yeah, also that index cards.
My notes. But I had to get out the habit because I would talk to people or give my card. I did this recently and I was like, oh my God, why I do it again? I give my card out and I don't take their information.
I do that
I
all
do
the
have to
time.
remember to make sure to get their information. I just give my card.
So sometimes I have a card in my pocket and it's there to remind me to be handing them out. But then this is what I say: oh my gosh, I don't have any more cards. Can I put you in my phone so I can text you my contact information? That way I never fall out of your world. Hold on,
No, but they actually asked me though.
Yeah.
They asked me, did I get ready? Another person asked too. I was like, dang, I didn't get their information.
Yep.
I'll find them. Yeah, it's okay. I'll be at another meeting.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, she will be.
Mm-hmm.
But, just that kind of thing, but just the fact that you bother to look back, again, that's part of the tracking and keeping numbers. It gives us data to reflect upon and be better. You're like, I am not doing that again. Step 1, give out the card. Step 2, get the number back. Yeah.
So I can keep in contact.
Yeah. All right. Well, does anyone have anything else they'd like to share for the greater good?
No, this was good.
All right. Well, I am going to do this series, something like this, just, kind of breaking down what happened so that you could still get like a condensed version. Every Wednesday, we will tape them, record them so that they can go to the resource spot. I had said 3:30. We're supposed to be in the Bold Room until 3. If they end up changing the times, I might move it forward also. But right now, expect to see us back again next Wednesday afternoon. Bye, everyone.